Being very entitled and controlling, narcissists have no difficulty stepping all over your personal boundaries. So that's why I put together an extensive video class called This Is Me. It has 25 videos, written documents, guided questions. I'm going to teach you how to have healthy boundaries. There's a link below, and I hope you'll find it to be quite therapeutic. I strongly suspect that most of you would agree with me that there are just times when it's good and beneficial to pull back and pause and reflect about the things in our world that are good. And specifically the things that are right there in front of you that are good, that bring contentment, the healthy connections that we have, the privileges that we enjoy, or just appreciating all of the many little small things in the world that make your life a little bit more comfortable and easy. It's good to have a reflective, pensive, thoughtful time where we can just allow ourselves to remember there are certain things in this world that are right and decent. Now, in our ongoing attempts to understand narcissism and how it impacts your world and my world, I want you to think, do narcissists truly experience gratitude? Now, short-term, narcissists can experience happiness or delight when things go their way. It's like, well, I got what I wanted. Good for me. Yay, me. And they can have a sense of accomplishment when things go well and they achieve well. But that's not exactly the same thing as gratitude. Gratitude is a much deeper ingredient than that. And long-term, narcissists do not really have that element of gratitude. Now, I want to go through multiple indicators that shows us what gratitude is. And I want to compare it to where that narcissistic person comes in. And I want to do so in such a way where you and I can reflect on how we can enter into this kind of mindset in such a way where we go about it in a fashion that allows us to truly have an inner sense of well-being. For example, when we talk about having an attitude of gratitude, you start with the notion that says, the world out there or people in front of me don't really owe me a whole lot, okay? Narcissists, by definition, are entitled individuals. It's like, well, there's a certain thing you're supposed to do for me. They operate with a lot of what I refer to as imperative thinking. And by that, I mean they have the agenda. Here's what you're supposed to do to make me feel good. They're constantly looking for narcissistic supply. You must, you have to, you better, you got to. And when they feel like the person in front of them or the circumstances in front of them fit that tight agenda, it's like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. But the grateful individual's like, I don't really want to approach people with this attitude of entitlement and all this imperative about what they must do. You don't really owe me that much. And as a result, they're not going to have expectations getting in the way of them being able to experience some of that contentment. Now, having said that, you can see that in gratitude, humility is a lead characteristic. In narcissism, egotism is the lead characteristic. It's all about me. I'm the center of the universe. You people out there are going to be a lot better off when you figure out what I want and when you conform to what I say. Healthy individuals, it's like, I don't want to be that self-centered kind of person. I mean, I'm going to take care of my needs, but at the same time, I know that the world doesn't revolve around me and I don't require that of people in front of me. In addition, when you have gratitude, you have an absence of scorekeeping. Scorekeeping, by the way, is the beginning point of envy. Narcissists can be quite envious. They have this notion about what people are supposed to do for them, what they are owed. And then when they see someone else do well, it's like, why didn't I get that? You know, that's supposed to come my direction. What's going on here? And as a result, they're constantly scoreboarding. Well, you got 3 things good. I need to have 7 things good to compensate for that. The grateful individual is like, no, I don't want to get into all that scoreboarding and all the judgmentalism that goes with that. You are what you are. I am what I am. And I don't have to get into that one up, one down kind of comparison sort of a thing. Likewise, when people are in a grateful mindset, they have a natural propensity anyway to be an encouraging presence. Grateful people actively look for the positives. This is not a trait that they just pull out every now and then or at a certain time of the year so that they can have, good feelings. They have a natural, easy sense that says, I like catching people in the act of doing things right. I like to build people up. Narcissists, on the other hand, they're excellent at being critical, and they can find fault in who knows what. And it's like, no, I don't want to go that direction. I want to have a natural inclination to say, this is what I like. These are the things that are right and decent. In addition, and this may seem counterintuitive to think this way, people who have an attitude of gratitude make a certain amount of acceptance for crud, if you will. They accept the fact that disappointments and setbacks will occur. In other words, they're realistic. And by the way, when I say accepting, I don't mean condoning, but they just have a realistic understanding of the way the world works. There are multitudes of pluses and minuses. Whereas in contrast, narcissists, they operate with a lot of bitterness and they hold grudges. And when things don't go the way they want, that's a big, huge setback for them. Their sense of well-being is all contingent upon getting everything lined up in the way that they deem to be good for them. In addition, people who have gratitude are willing to give credit to other individuals. If something goes well, it's like, I noticed that you were really trying hard. Way to go. And they like to encourage people and notice the skills that other individuals have. Whereas narcissists, it's like, well, I'm the one that set the whole thing up. They want to take credit for themselves. Grateful people recognize that there's a natural interconnectedness to all of us. No person is does well just completely on their own. They're not so individualistic that they got to wherever it is they got that's good just completely on their own. We realize that many people have helped us along the way, and we like to give credit where credit is due. Whereas narcissism tends to lean much more towards rugged individualism. Well, the reason things are good in my life is because this is me. And they don't want to give credit to people unless there's some sort of gain that might come from that. In addition, people with a grateful heart just like to soak in beauty. And of all sorts of varieties, by the way, whether it's in music or art or being out with nature. They like to just soak it in. It's like, oh, this is so good. I enjoy it. And they're not going to grade beauty and art and things and music like that in such a way, but it's just, no, I'm just going to appreciate it for what it is. And there are simply good things out there that enhance my life. Thank you. I'm appreciative of that. People who have a grateful heart have a natural disposition toward joy. They have a natural disposition toward peace. As opposed to stirring up strain and tension. And I can't underscore enough how necessary it is to nurture and build upon this skill of gratitude. Narcissism, by definition, runs completely counter to what I'm saying here. Narcissists have so many ingredients that make them not grateful. They want to control people, and as a result, when people don't want to be controlled, then that knocks out the gratitude. They have raw selfishness. It's all about me. They think of themselves as superior, which means they're condescending as a general rule towards those who don't fit their standards. They have an inability to contain their agitation and irritability and impatience. All of that takes away from the notion of gratitude. The benefit of gratitude is when you're able to go into that space, your own relationships are enhanced and strengthened. You have greater coordination. People like being on the receiving end of your gratitude. The kindness that goes along with gratitude becomes its own reward. You just frankly feel better about yourself when you have been a positive presence in someone else's life. In an attitude of gratitude, your physical health is enhanced, your psychological well-being is enhanced, your propensity toward aggression lessens, your propensity toward empathy increases. Basically, when you have gratitude, it disconnects you from psychological toxins. So why don't we just conclude here by saying, you know, it's so good for us to first just take time alone to pull back and think, you know, what is it in my life that I'm grateful for? What is it in my life that I'm thankful for? Who can I give credit for some of the good things that have happened in my life? And then as you have those pensive moments, I'm hoping you can take it outward and then seek to show goodness toward the people in front of you. Choose love. Choose kindness. Choose patience. Choose self-restraint. Choose encouragement. Choose calmness. Choose significance building. And above all, choose to be a person of peace. Would you be willing to join me and all the rest of us here on Team Healthy in saying someone needs to take initiative in that direction? I'd be more than happy to be one of those somebodies. I hope that videos such as this can give you some good food for thought, and particularly this time of year. I'm hoping that you can enter into that mind of gratitude, and it truly can be central to what you are. If you've not already hit the subscribe button, I would encourage you to do so. Hit the like button. That'll be good. Gus and I'm grateful for my buddy Gus, and I know a lot of you are too. We'll keep more videos coming toward you. If you have a need for therapy, and I know that many times when you're going through some of the strains that narcissists can create, it would be good if you would have somebody to help you unpack all of that. I'm so pleased that I've been sponsored for quite some time now by the good people at BetterHelp.com. There's a link below, and you can go there and seek the help from licensed professional therapists if that's a need. I would strongly encourage that. Likewise, you can gift yourself a gift of some of the therapeutic courses that I have, and these are meant to be ongoing, very extensive kind of classes that you would take. Multiple videos, written materials, guided questions, Ready, Set, Connect about making good connections. This is me about establishing boundaries. Free to be, finding yourself despite the controllers. We have my webinars that are also available. We have our podcast, the Surviving Narcissism podcast. We have my website with many articles, as well as my books. There are plenty of resources. I want to let you know that I've been doing this now for well over 4 years, about 4.5 years on the Surviving Narcissism channel. I'm grateful for you, the viewers, and I'm grateful for the encouragement you give me and to one another in our Team Healthy environment here. So I do hope that as you pause and reflect, that you'll have your times where you can find your peace. And in doing so, it helps you to know, you know, somebody in this world has to stand for goodness. I want to be someone. I want to be one of those somebodies.